Okay, so I am in the Depresh Mode craft studio here, and you have told me in advance to get things like yarn and glue, and where are they? I got some googly eyes here.
Fabulous.
They were on sale, and I've got some scissors and a fork, which I don't know what's going to happen with the fork. That's the one that I think intrigues me the most.
Today, we are going to be making tiny yarn palms, which are actually both very easy and very zen. And as I told you earlier, I want to be clear that we're not talking about good crafts or impressive crafts or beautiful crafts. We're talking about easy crafts. And so
I will not be selling this on Etsy for great profit margin.
No, probably not. Although, I mean, you are a luminary in the mental illness community, so
I'm going to demonstrate it here today. Do we start with yarn?
We do start with yarn. So take the end of your yarn and get a little piece that's about 6 inches long.
Okay.
And then cut that.
Okay.
And then just put that quite nearby to where you'll be able to grasp it pretty easily. All right, so next we are taking our fork, which is going to become, believe it or not, the central pillar of our yarn puff. And I'm going to turn a little bit. Hopefully you guys can still hear me okay, so you can see. Yeah. Okay, so what you're going to do is you are going to hold it in the middle of the fork with your thumb. And I'm going to switch back over here. So I'm just holding it right there like that. And then you're going to begin to wind it around the fork. And, kind of hopefully going over itself. It doesn't have to be perfect. And once you've got enough on there that you've sort of covered your end and it's not going to float away. And you're going to do that. It doesn't super matter. I would say 35 to 40 times. So you can go ahead and assume you've got, maybe 10 on there.
This is an easy craft. And I'm glad that I got the rainbow yarn because then it gives me some variety in what I'm seeing.
Oh, it's going to be very cute. You kind of want it to look about like this. Kind of this thick.
Oh, that's nice and tight. So how's this?
I think that'll be great. Let's see. Hold it. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
So now what you're going to do is you have it about halfway up the fork and you have a little space down here, right? So you're now taking the 6-inch piece of thread. What you're going to do is you're going to put it through the hole underneath your little guy. Okay. Pull it part of the way through.
A little middle hole there, right?
Mm-hmm. In the middle hole. So now you got it underneath. You're going to take it up the back and bring it between the middle tines as well. So now, as you can see, I have that one piece of yarn. Like here's the back, here's the front. So what you're going to do...
So coming over the top then, too,
exactly.
Right?
And what's going to happen is this little piece of thread is going to end up binding the middle.
Okay.
But not yet. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these two ends and you're just going to do a simple half knot, just one over the other and pull it. And you don't have to pull it too tight. In fact, you shouldn't pull it too tight at this step. You know what the beautiful thing about yarn balls is that it's a yarn ball.
Well, it is true.
So
it doesn't aspire to be any more than that.
It's a very low risk scenario. All right. So now we've got this here. We've got this loosely tied. Now what you're going to do, and I'm going to have you watch me first because it's a little bit of a trick. So you're going to gently slide it off, kind of like this. And then when you get it, you're going to set it down on the table and you're going to pull both of these ends as tight as you can. Okay? Now we're tightening it up. And then you're going to do the other half of the knot. So like just a square knot in there. But again, get this as tightened up as you can. So I'll show you what it's going to look like when it's done here. So I'm giving it a little nice tightness. So it kind of looks like this at this point. And then again, I'm just finishing that overhand knot or square knot, pardon me. I don't actually know what an overhand knot is. I'm not that great at knots. Okay. So now this is kind of what we're left with here.
I got this.
All right. Hold it right up to me. Yeah. Yeah. That's on track. As long as this knot through the middle, see, you've got the loops over here and the loops under there. As long as that little knot is very tight, that's what we're going for.
Okay.
Squeeze it as tight as you can.
This right now, I'm thinking, I'm always so bad at crafts. Why do I always do this? I'm such a failure. But then you've reminded me, it's just some yarn.
We have one more step and then we have the fun step. You may now set your fork aside as well. The fork part of the evening has concluded.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Okay.
I can trim this up a little.
Yes. Why don't we trim our long ends? And I'm sorry I'm not there in person. You know, it's much easier to teach crafts in person.
Okay, so we've got our thing.
Okay. So I'm going to be honest right now and say, you know, as you can tell, yours looks a little bit different than mine looks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if
Mine's a little looser.
it's a little looser, but that's okay. Now what we're going to do is, you see all these little loops that we have?
Yeah.
We're going to snip those loops.
On the end there. Okay.
Yeah. So
This is why you messaged me earlier to make sure that I had good scissors.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you're just going to go through. Now, you don't have to worry about getting every single loop because as you go on and continue to form your ball, loops, unsnipped loops will emerge. Now you're going to do the other side as well, though.
Oh, okay.
So all loops located anywhere on this little yarn ball to be should be snipped. Although, as I said earlier, you don't have to worry about being a super.
You don't get around to some of them. That's okay.
At this point, some of them are like little and tight and in there, and they shall be revealed when the time comes.
Okay.
And also, I am just going to note here something important about crafting, which is that each of us make a craft for the first time once, and it never is quite right. And you just have to say, "Good job on this one. I'm going to keep going."
Yeah.
All right, so
it's like Ira Glass. It's like the Gap. Just have the vision, have the taste, and then suck a bunch of times.
Exactly. I always read that when I go and talk to a high school class. Yes. Okay. So you've got all your guys snipped that you can, all your little loops.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So now you might have something that looks a little bit like this, or it might look a little different.
So now we have this.
And you're going to be going to sort of tussle them into sort of a round shape.
Okay. Oh,
you rub it between your hands.
Yeah, okay.
And then you'll kind of keep fluffing, and you're trying to, sort of get it past that little bit of the middle where it's all tied down. Now, during this time, things like this will happen. Like, you'll see more little loops that you didn't cut the first time.
Yeah, I see those.
When you see more loops, just cut those loops.
Okay.
Keep rolling between your hands and just sort of fluffing and just playing with it, because we are about to be at the very fun part of this process, and frankly, my favorite part of the whole thing, and why I selected this craft for this occasion.
I know what's going to happen.
Let's see, how you doing, John? I think you're going to make a very beautiful friend. I don't know if it's going to be a yarn ball like the one that I have.
I'm very fond of it already because I created it.
I actually like it. I think it will look wonderful with little googly eyes on.
Oh, I knew it.
Your ball might look something like this.
Uh-huh.
Where it's not quite a round ball yet. Mm-hmm. As you can see, obviously, like, some strings were longer. So now this is the satisfying for me part, is now you get to pull out your, inner Edward Scissorhands, keep checking for loops, keep snipping for loops. But you also get to start just sort of giving it a little haircut to make it spherical. And again, it's a yarn ball.
It's a yarn ball. Your mortgage payment does not depend on it.
No, certainly not. Literally nothing depends on it. You're just having fun cutting a little thing of yarn into a sphere.
Yeah, sphere like this.
Let's see your sphere. There's all kinds of spheres in the world.
Yeah.
You made the flying spaghetti monster of yarn balls.
I really kind of did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
People have built religions on less, John. So I think you should feel pretty good about yourself.
They really have, yeah.
So this is the part that normally I would go a lot harder on making this perfectly round because I find the trimming to be very satisfying. However, you said when's the googly eye part. Here we are at the googly eye part. Here's my googly eyes. I have a variety of sizes.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go for the smallest because this is a little guy. But
do you find it difficult to peel off the adhesive on the back of the googly eye?
See, I'm a googly eye purist, and I'm going for Elmer's glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little bitty guy. I'm going to put a tiny little drop of Elmer's glue on the back. And then I just squish it in, and I try to make sure that the glue is coming in contact with several different fibers, so it's bonding to all of them.
Sure.
So there we go. Now Ooh. I love it. You got both before I got... Honestly, is it a her, a him, non-binary? Do you have any feelings?
I'm going non-binary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't get caught up in labels or knots.
Here is my yarn ball.
Oh, see that could be on the end of a pencil and be delightful for a fourth grader.
Yeah, and here's one that, I cut out some of my time trimming because it really would have to be like a yakety sax montage. But eventually you can get them quite round and smooth.
Okay.
They remind me, have you ever seen Spirited Away?
Yeah.
It reminds me of the little coal sprites.
Oh, yeah.
Made one in black. And something else you can do with them if you want, I have some others on my desk because I've been practicing, is you can string them together and make a little palm garland.
Oh.
You can make larger ones. You can make smaller. Well, you can't make smaller ones. That's a lie. This is just about as small as it can be. And
you could wear them as a fashionable necklace all in a row.
You could, or you could just think, I did this, and this is kind of cute.
This wasn't in existence before, and now here's a cute thing that I made happen.
And I can set it on my desk, and it can look at me, and I can think, that yarn ball loves my whole vibe.
Yeah.
This yarn ball is like, would get upset with me if I were thinking terrible things about myself.
Right. You wouldn't think terrible things about the yarn ball, and so why would you think them about yourself?
I mean, I treasure my little yarn ball, and I'm sure the feeling is mutual.
Absolutely. Friends are friends.
Yarn ball friends.
Yarn ball
Only
friends.
kind that Kelly Williams Brown has. Let's start that rumor. All my friends are yarn.
And thus very loyal.
It's a very easy craft to do. So, and one that, I can kind of just... We live in a time where there is a lot of despair and there is a lot of pain. And those are reasonable feelings to feel, even for normies. And it's really good to address those. It is really good to struggle. And it is also really good to be able to do something kind of quiet and inside ourselves when we need to.
Kelly, thanks.
Thank you, John. It was a great pleasure.